iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. All right, let's talk about Thursday night's game, the Cardinals against the 49ers. First half, not very good. Second half, a little bit better. Drew Stanton, 11 for 28, 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's not very good at all. And here's the thing. When people ask me, who would you play? I only said 2 players, Larry Fitzgerald and David Johnson. Because I always believe that a backup quarterback goes to his first look. Who's Stanton's first look? Larry Fitzgerald. 6 for 81 and 2 touchdowns. John Brown had 1 catch, 4 targets. Michael Floyd is terrible. Terrible. There was a catch on the sideline. It hit him in his hands, and he bobbled it. It was a drive-ending play. And if I'm Bruce Arians and I saw that, I'm just saying, dude, you're done. You're done. Simple as that. David Johnson, 27 carries, 157 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions for 28 yards. I mean, I've said it before and I've said it again. If I had to draft all over again, I'm taking Antonio Brown 1 and David Johnson 2. I really am. I know you're not supposed to take a running back that early, but David Johnson's not just any running back. He's a star. Blaine Gabbert, 18 for 31, 162 yards, a touchdown and 2 picks. Carlos Hyde is a man. I mean, that's all I can say. He's a man. 22 carries, 78 yards and a touchdown, 6 receptions, 36 yards. But there was a play yesterday, I believe it was the end of the first half, where he catches a ball, he gets a first down, and then he tries to do a little, embarrassing, I'm stronger than you, I'm going to beat you up thing. And he gets a penalty. That's just a stupid penalty. And I'm telling you this. If I was a coach, if I was in the NFL right now, I would tell my players this. The second you get a penalty for taunting, I'm benching you for a half. Simple as that. You sit on the bench for a half. Let me tell you something. These guys would stop taunting. It would. Because you know what? It's a stupid penalty. It's an unnecessary penalty. Look, I'll take holding, good penalty. Face mask, I can live with it. Horse collar, so be it. Taunting, stupid. We're not in the playground. We're not in the park. You're an NFL player. Do you really need to taunt? Here's how you taunt. Score a touchdown. Score a touchdown. You ever see Barry Sanders after he scored a touchdown? Act like you've been there before. Carlos Hyde, you know where you've been? Nowhere. Jeremy Curley, 8 for 102 and a touchdown. That was pretty good. Blaine Gabbert, though, 70 yards rushing and a touchdown. That's pretty special. That is pretty special. I'll give Gabbert that. He doesn't throw the ball very well, but he can certainly run it well. 70 yards and a touchdown. I can live with that. All right, so let's break down Sunday's games. Week 5, we'll throw in a Monday game just for good measure because that's what we do here. I'll break it down quickly. Well, not too quickly, just quickly enough. New England and Cleveland. Oh, my God. Tom Brady. This is going to be 5 touchdowns. He's basically going to stick the middle finger right to Roger Goodell saying, dude, I hate you. 6 touchdowns against Hugh Jackson. Edelman, touchdown. Bennett, touchdown. Hogan, touchdown. It's just going to be a love fest. Love fest here. You worried about Brady? Oh, he hasn't practiced? Don't worry. It's Tom Brady. I'm good. Maybe the first quarter will be rough. The rest of the game will be great. For Cleveland, I really believe that that Bill Belichick is going to take Terrell Pryor out of his game. And I think this is going to be a Duke Johnson game. I'm very into Duke Johnson this game. I don't hate Gary Barnidge. Crowell, I don't love this week. I'm going to go Duke and Barnidge as my 2 guys in the Browns this week. Philadelphia, Detroit, I'm calling this now. I don't know if this is going to be an upset, but this is going to be a very close game, and it wouldn't shock me at all if the Detroit Lions won. You heard it here first. I think everybody's thinking Philadelphia played great last time out. Carson Wentz, Carson Wentz, Carson Wentz. Lions suck. They lost to the Bears. Just when you think you understand the NFL, you don't. You don't understand the NFL. I'm telling you, I like Philadelphia. I'm not saying I don't, but I think the Lions keep it close. Matthew Stafford plays well. Marvin Jones plays well. Theo Riddick has a good day. I think those guys will benefit. Golden Tate, I don't care what Jim Bob Cooter says, will be okay, not terrific. For Philadelphia, I love Zach Ertz. Detroit is terrible against the tight end. Sproles. I'm very interested to see Smallwood and Ryan Matthews and Sproles in the breakdown. Did Ryan Matthews lose his job? Was Smallwood just playing that week because Matthews was injured with a stiff ankle? I need to see that. I also need to see Jordan Matthews and what's going on with Joel Green Beckham and Aguilar. I need to see. I don't understand the Eagles yet. And for me to say that as a fantasy expert, that scares me. I like predictability. I like to know what I'm getting. I don't know what I'm getting here with Philadelphia. Life's a box of chocolates, and I don't know which ones I'm looking at there. I'm telling you, I don't know. Makes me nervous. Chicago at Indianapolis. Speaking of nervous, I'm nervous for Andrew Luck's life. I mean, that offensive line is terrible. More Frank Gore, please. More Dwayne Allen, please. How about a Philip Dorsett touchdown again? And for Chicago, I could just watch Jordan Howard play all day. Kevin White on the IR. Done. Alshon Jeffrey not 100%, so I think you're looking at a Zach Miller and Cameron Meredith. There's a name for you. Tennessee and Miami. I think Mariota's better this week. I like Andre Johnson to score a touchdown this week. You always know I like a narrative. Andre Johnson played football where in college? The U. University of Miami. Goes back to Miami now. It seems like when he's in the game, Mariota has eyes for Andre Johnson. I see him getting a touchdown here. I do. Miami's pass defense is terrible. I'm not saying Johnson's going to be great, but I like him. For Miami, I like Devontae Parker a little bit. I love Jarvis Landry a little bit. And I'm really excited to see Jay Ajayi get some carries. I think he's a very sneaky proposition in DFS this week. Because Jay Ajayi, if you look at his yards per carry, they're pretty good. Maybe he gets a touchdown. I'm just throwing it out there. For a cheap price, you too can find out. Washington and the Ravens, the Redskins and the Ravens. This game is really about two mercurial quarterbacks. Flacco, Cousins, who's going to screw up less? I don't know. I don't like Deshaun Jackson this week. I don't like Jordan Reed this week. I don't really like any Redskin this week, but I think the Redskins will score points. I like Steve Smith and Mike Wallace, but I don't know. Kenneth Dixon is interesting. Terrence West is interesting. This is a game that I think I probably stay away from fantasy-wise outside of Steve Smith. I can't tell you exactly who's going to score what here. You're going to see a lot of guys in the 50, 60, 70 yards. No outstanding players, I don't think. Houston and Minnesota. Sam Bradford playing very well right now. Brock Osweiler not playing well. Will Fuller playing well. Lamar Miller playing okay. DeAndre Hopkins sucking. I think the Hopkins is a bad matchup this week. I can't tell you to bench him. I can't ever do that. But I don't like him this week. I don't like him. For Minnesota, I like Kyle Rudolph. I like Jerick McKinnon. I think these guys will have pretty solid weeks. I think Minnesota wins this game on defense. Now, here's a game where there's no defense. I think the Jets in Pittsburgh, this game will be in the 60s. I love Fitzmagic. I love Quincy Enunwa. I love Brandon Marshall. I can live with Matt Forte this week. If Forte's out, Bilal Powell's a must play on DK. Must. For Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, every week you got to roll with them. Sammy Coates should be able to go deep. Ben Roethlisberger going to have a big week this week against the Jets defense, who stops the run, but they don't stop the pass. And if you don't stop the pass against Pittsburgh, could get ugly. Atlanta and Denver. Matt Ryan will not throw for 500 yards this week. I can personally guarantee that. I don't even know if he throws for 300 this week. I worry about Julio Jones-Roto. I worry about Tevin Coleman, who's got this altitude sickness thing going on. I don't know if he's going to be able to play a full game. I like Devonta Freeman. For Denver, I love C.J. Anderson this week. I think this is a C.J. Anderson 2-touchdown week. I do. I think he's a virtual must-start in DFS. Demaryius Thomas, okay. Sanders, okay. It's an Anderson week for me. Cincinnati and Dallas. This game is an intriguing game because I have no idea what's going to happen here. None. Zero. I think both teams are capable of winning this game. I think both teams are capable of losing this game. I think Dallas shuts down A.J. Green. I think Tyler Eifert doesn't play. How does Jeremy Hill do? Can he get a couple of touchdowns? How does Ezekiel Elliott do? Can he run against the Cincinnati Bengals? How will Dak Prescott, who hasn't thrown an interception, do? Does he go to Bryce Butler again? Remember, once again, I told you, I like consistency and predictability. I want to be able to go talk about the game. This is what's going to happen. Boom, 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 boom. I'm very self-assured about what I think about games. But this week, there's a couple of games, as I've said to you. Washington, Baltimore. Cincinnati, Dallas. I'm just not sure of the outcome. So I'm not sure who wins the game, and I'm not sure who does well in the game. Maybe somebody out there is better than I am, but I'll tell you this. Do I know Ezekiel Elliott will be good? Sure. After that, do I feel good about Williams, Beasley, Witten, Butler? No, not at all. But I'll tell you this, I feel good about Todd Gurley this week. I love Todd Gurley, and I love Tavon Austin. I think this is a Tavon Austin week. I do. I think he's going to get 8 or 9 catches this week. So I like Gurley. I like Austin. For Buffalo, LaShawn McCoy has been special. He's been absolutely special recently. I'm on him this week, as always. And Robert Woods, here's our narrative. Robert Woods, where did he play? USC. Where does USC play? The Coliseum. Where are they playing this week? The Coliseum. Just throwing it out there. Robert Woods going to want to do well this weekend. San Diego at Oakland, Jason Verrett is out. So you've got Manti Te'o out, Jason Verrett out, Danny Woodhead out, Keenan Allen Roto out, Stevie Johnson out. The list goes on and on and on and on. But San Diego's been in every week. I think they stay in this week, but I think they lose to Oakland because without Verrett, who's covering Cooper? And who's covering Crabtree? Brandon Flowers? I don't think so. Melvin Gordon, not the best week this week, I don't think. Phillip Rivers, good, not great. For Oakland, I'm worried about this running game. I think Washington is the lead guy, but I think Richard will be there. And I think Richard's very sneaky on DK if you're willing to take a shot for $3,000. I don't know what he does, but I think that Oakland wins this game. I think they get a defensive touchdown as well. Maybe a little Khalil Mack sack. A little Mack sack there for Khalil. The Giants in Green Bay, I think this is going to be a sucker game for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are going to think Green Bay is going to win this by a lot. The Giants always play well on the road. They play well when you don't think they're supposed to. See, if the Giants were playing Houston, I would take the Texans. Giants playing Green Bay, the Giants always play big in big games. I think Eli Manning throws for 300 yards, and I think he throws 150 of those yards to Odell Beckham Jr. Roto. Conversely, I think Green Bay wins this game, so I think Aaron Rodgers has a big week. And he finds Jordy Nelson everywhere. So I think this is a very good game for Sunday night, very high-scoring game. I'm absolutely and positively looking forward to this one. Monday night's game, Tampa Bay at Carolina. I'm not sure about Cam Newton. If I had to guess, I would say that Cam Newton is not going to play. If Cam Newton doesn't play, I know that people will be like, well, what about this Derek Anderson guy? I have no problem with Derek Anderson. Derek Anderson is a very good player. So keep your eyes locked on him. He can win this game if Cam's not there. I love Kelvin Benjamin, and I love Greg Olsen. For Tampa, I think this is a big Jameis Winston week. Big. Carolina is changing their secondary. Not a good idea to change your secondary when Mike Evans is there. Love Mike Evans this week. Love Cameron Brate this week. I mean, Charles Sims is not healthy. Doug Martin's not healthy. So I think you're going to get a lot of passes in this game. I think Jameis Winston is very inconsistent. Good week, bad week, good week, bad week, good week, bad week. This is a good week. This is a good week for him. All right, so Scott Atkins from Scout Fantasy sent me the Scout scores. These are guys who are good plays in DFS. I'll just run a couple of plays by you, just a couple that we really like at Scout. We really like Jameis Winston, and we really like Ryan Fitzpatrick. I told you Fitzpatrick. I think that's going to be a high-scoring game. I think those two guys are. Ryan Fitzpatrick, we're projecting 5 times, 5x on DK, 5x. At running back, we like Freeman and Duke Johnson. I mentioned those. I didn't need Scott to tell me that. I could tell you that. I love Freeman. I think Coleman doesn't play. I like Duke Johnson. At receiver, we like Brandon Marshall this week a lot. We like the Jets. Jets are going to score, and you're going to get them at value. And then at tight end, take a look at Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry is always Phillip Rivers' guy right now. Antonio Gates is not there. And if Antonio Gates is not there, Hunter Henry is there. And Hunter Henry is probably the second best target on that team after Travis Benjamin. I feel pretty strongly about that. All right. Time now to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Hey, do me a favor. Check out scoutfantasy.com. Enter the promo code ROTO. That's ROTO. You pay for 1 month, we'll get you 2 more months for free. You get all the information that you need, and you just have to process that information. Our forums are really kicking butt. Our guys at the Daily Armory are trying to get you guys best DFS cash lineups out there. And remember, Scout Now is on SiriusXM Friday night from 10 to 12 p.m., Saturday morning from 7 to 10 p.m., and Sunday night from 7 to 9 p.m. So we're around on the weekend trying to get you the latest and best information that you could use to win your fantasy football leagues. Also, just want to say if anybody's dealing with Hurricane Matthew, be safe. I'm thankful if you are listening to this podcast and you're dealing with Matthew. But be safe out there and enjoy this week's games. And I hope you win. So this is Dr. Roto saying be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!